What's going on, guys? So I wanted to make a little bit of a different video today. If you're new to this channel, hi, welcome, thank you for coming. I am mainly a music channel. This video is a little bit different. I wanted to do this video anyways because this was interesting to me. I did an experiment essentially for myself, and I wanted to see what would happen if I posted a video a day for 50 days. And if you're new to my channel, I'm a music channel, so it was very difficult to come up with 50 musical creative ideas, or creative you could say, I guess, in 50 days. But I wanted to push myself and test myself and see if I could do it. And I wanted to test that against the previous 50 days where I posted a video every 3 to 4 days. More doable, manageable, better for my mental health. And I wanted to break down like analytically what that looks like, what the difference was, how YouTube pushed things differently. And I also posted all of these videos the same day and the same time onto my Facebook page, and I wanted to compare the difference between YouTube and Facebook. And so it could be a boring video for some of you, but maybe for some of you it might be interesting. And then I want to talk about too at the very end, kind of my experience personally and my experience mentally of going through this entire thing. Alright, so first I'm gonna go up here, go to custom, and we're gonna go back to October 14th. That's when I started doing all of this daily stuff, and then we're gonna go to date. So we can see that the views are 29.6 million, up 69%, watch time up 77%, subscribers 57.9k, up 28%. So clearly YouTube favors the daily posts, the constant content that destroys creators. You look a little bit further down, my biggest viewed day in those 50 days was November 25th, 888,897. I'm actually curious what I posted. I posted the Saxy Gent song. I'm not sure why that day specifically I got 888. That's a big jump from the previous day of 687,000. So that's one thing I don't understand about YouTube, is how these peaks happen. In top videos, we'll see my top video for the last 50 days was metal genres without distortion, 1.2 million views. This is where it gets interesting. The second top video in the last 50 days is this Legend of Zelda Song of Time ukulele metal cover, 717,000 views in the last 50 days. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this video came out November 10th, 2017. That's where the initial spike of the day happened, 100,000 views. Then it just disintegrated into nothing for months. I mean, it was about 1,000 views, 2,000 views a day for months, until July it started amping up, getting about 5 or 6, 7. And then around November, for some strange reason, it seems that around November, it just starts to pick up and it starts doubling the views. So these are the daily views in November, December. It's doubled, it's tripled, it's 10 times, 20 times what it was 2 years ago. But since that happened, then continuously over the next year, it was doubled or tripled the views per day than it was the previous year. I don't fucking know. That's YouTube for you, I guess. Here's the interesting thing too, is that the audience retention is a minute 6, 50% retention. That's bad. Like, the video itself is 2 minutes long. It's not anything to do with YouTube's algorithm getting in some sort of algorithm. It doesn't check any marks as far as that's concerned. Even if you look down here where it says likes versus dislikes, it's not even some of my most positively liked content on YouTube. This is a very interesting thing to me. So then let's go back and look at the rest of the top videos. I wrote a guitar tab, let people make their own interpretation, gave people a drum beat, made them write a riff using this tab, and weird drum setups that actually work. Now that makes more sense to me because the top 2 were videos that I have done recently that I felt performed very well and I enjoyed, and the bottom one is just a video that has always performed well. Now let's look at the previous days. So we're gonna go to August 26th as the start date, and then I'm gonna have the end date be October 14th. And let's look at that. Instantly, you see a difference, right? And that makes sense because I wasn't posting as much. So it levels out more. There's peaks and there's valleys, but it levels out more. My top viewed video from this time period was 549,000. Otherwise, it's pretty flat. It's pretty, this is interesting too. The top videos in the previous 50 days is still the same Zelda video. I don't know why that video is doing so well. It doesn't fit any algorithm. I guess people just like the video. So now, let's look at the views though. 14.7 million, down 36%. Subscribers down 51%, and watch time down 41%. So that makes sense because there's less videos to watch, right? There's gonna be less content coming out. But also, how much does YouTube push a channel that doesn't post often? Don't know. That's a big difference in views. That's half. It's more than half. Let's look at Facebook now. So one thing I noticed when I was doing this, posting to Facebook and YouTube, was that this is like kind of my main point about this. Creators and musicians and creative people who don't have that much confidence, this is a main point I want to hit on here, is that I would post a video to YouTube and a video to Facebook every day, same video. Now, a lot of times, if they did bad on one, they would do well on the other. And this was a very interesting discovery for me because I would always post on just YouTube. And if I did a video on YouTube that performed badly, I thought, this is a terrible video. I did a bad video and it's a shit post, I need to move on. But seeing it like then take off on Facebook, it's like, well, maybe it wasn't bad, it just was the platform that wasn't right. So that's something to consider when you're making your content, is that just because it doesn't get many views doesn't mean that it's bad. There were a few instances and a few differences I noticed. Now on Facebook, the videos that are longer where I sit and do the reactionary stuff, they don't do as well. On YouTube, they do really well. The ones that do well on Facebook are the short ones that are just very quick. You can scroll through it. You know exactly what's happening when you hit it. And those ones are the ones that do more on Facebook because of the shareability than they do on YouTube. Metal Genres Without Distortion, it did much better on YouTube than Facebook. It got 208,000 on Facebook, and it's 1 million something now on YouTube. That could be an algorithm thing that YouTube just decided. I don't know. I did where is it? This is Halloween cover right here. This is the big difference here that Facebook has that YouTube doesn't, is the shareability of things, I suppose, is the best way to say it. I did a cover of This Is Halloween. On my YouTube it had, to this day I still think 200,000, but on Facebook it got 1.6 million. Now me as a creator, if I were to just post that on YouTube like I always have done with my past videos, I would be like, okay, it was a fine video, got 200,000, that was great, that was good views. But seeing 1.6 million on Facebook makes me think like, damn, like that's awesome. Like that's really exciting and I feel really good and happy about that. So I was judging my content based off of like the views I was getting, and I decided and discovered of myself a terrible thing to focus on when you're creating content, because then it's about the views, and that's one thing I noticed, and I found my content at times to suffer from it. So, is it worth posting every day to gain traction? Yes. The analytics would show yes, but mental health wise, it always seems that when I'm happiest, my career is suffering the most, and when my career is succeeding the most, I am always unhappiest. That's kind of a shitty thing. And that's just kind of, I think, where we're at in this content consuming culture. I mean, there's so much content out there that it's you have to just do that if you want to stay relevant, I guess, in this YouTube type of realm. My only advice to any other creators out there, or people creating anything, just do it in chunks. You know, maybe do a month where you're just killing it, and then take a month where you're relaxing and just doing a video every 3 to 4 days. But it's good to post more often if you want to gain that traction. But I discovered in and of myself that doing that all the time is not going to work for me as a YouTuber. It works for other creators, and I commend them so fucking much for that. But for me personally, with the type of content I make, it's incredibly difficult. So I'm gonna try and go to every 2 to 3 days, keep a schedule like that, and then I feel like my content won't suffer, I won't feel rushed. Because there were times, yes, where I was like, man, I really need to get this video out in 3 hours, so I need to do this part and I need to like get it done, and there were times where I wish I would have done it a little bit better. And I didn't allow myself that, and I found that posting every day became a thing where like I was focusing on the analytics and the views. I mentally was not doing the best because I was just stressed. My personal life was suffering. I didn't have time to do anything else. I was literally devoted 100% to this. And I feel like that is a dangerous thing to do. Whew, it's a rabbit hole. And I've learned a lot. So I just want to share that with you guys. I hope you found something useful out of that. It was a passion project I did for myself, and I just thought I would share it with some of you. If you find anything interesting in this video, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're new to the channel, like I said, I usually do music content. Check out my stuff if you like it. Love to have you back. So I'll see you later. Peace out.